of our economy working hand in hand to create a thriving ecosystem of commerce and prosperity. On Balogun and Broad, we celebrate the brilliance and ingenuity of small, medium, and big businesses. We don't just keep an eye on the stock exchange market, we're in touch with our local markets too. Join us every Wednesday, 5 to 6 p.m. on Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
All right, Lagos, welcome to Balogun and Broad. And today on Balogun and Broad, we're going to be talking about the recent deal signed by Nigeria and the government of France. There was an MOU that was signed between the French government and the Nigerian government on mineral value chain development. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of that particular deal that was signed. My guest is Muktar Mohammed. He's an economist. He's always very interesting to listen to when he joins us on Balogun and Broad. And today he's going to help us to make sense of this MOU that was signed by the government of Nigeria and that of France, and what exactly this might mean for us going forward as he joins us. Welcome, Lagos. Let me give you some background on that report. It was reported recently when the president left France that in a bid to galvanize the mining sector, our country, Nigeria, and France on the weekend signed a memorandum of understanding to address numerous challenges, including remediation of over 2,000 abandoned mining pits across the country. Both countries also agreed to develop joint projects to promote and diversify the critical mineral value chains in the solid mineral sector of both countries. According to a statement signed by the Special Assistant on Media, Segun, to the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Segun Tomori, the MOU signed by both countries on the sidelines of the official visit of Mr. President to France, both countries, we hear, agreed to collaborate on research, training, and Franco-Nigerian students exchanged for knowledge, and skills transfer. It goes further to tell us that a key component of that MOU is the promotion of sustainable mining activities by executing projects and programs that reduce environmental impact of mining and carbon emissions, water consumption, and climate change. I'll leave it there. I'm thinking to myself, could we not have done this on our own? I mean, I remember having a conversation with a PDP chieftain here about this mining activity and how they have been somewhat uncontrolled in this country. And the average person is going to ask, did we need a France to join us in having in controlling the mining sector so we could have best international practices? Well, my guest is going to help us make sense of it. Muktar Mohammed is joining us live via Zoom. Mr. Mohammed, it's so good to have you join us, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be on your show.
Great. I love your jersey. Let's start by talking about this memorandum of understanding, and it's not for anything but development in our mining. But let's start by looking at the country France. France is a country that has not had a great run in Africa, and I'm talking about Francophone Africa. Most recently, they've been sent packing across the Francophone countries, including Senegal, who just had a new young president saying that they're not going to play to the gallery of France anymore. How come Nigeria is in bed with France? Let's start with that.
Well, at the moment, you shouldn't forget that France is the second home of Mr. President. He always visits France since he became president. Before his inauguration, he was in France. After his inauguration, he was in France. This is the first time he's doing an official visit to France, but he has been to France countless times. So you shouldn't forget that's like his second home, not even the UK like we thought it should be. And that's one. Then secondly, again, I think we are a country that's in cap in hand trying to prove a point, especially the administration of President Bola Tinubu saying, We have to attract investors into Nigeria, because if you look at the foreign direct investment in Nigeria, it's almost zero. So maybe that's another issue, that they are trying to get more investors into Nigeria. The other one you talk about, other
Francophone countries, yes. Chad, Mali, Senegal. These are countries that have sent France packing in a sense. They do not want to have anything to do with France. In fact, I remember having a conversation with a human rights activist from the DRC, who continuously points fingers at the United States, at France, for the illegal mining activities that are happening in their country.
The largest trade.
So, I think we lost the connection with Muktar. Muktar, you're going in and out. The connection has been going on and off, but I think we have you back. Go ahead.
Okay. The largest. Okay. I was saying that the largest trade partner of France in Africa is three countries. We have Algeria, we have Morocco, and we have Tunisia. And if you look at these countries, these are countries that were also colonized by France. The fourth largest trade partner for France is Nigeria. So France has bought over 95% of our crude oil. France also has allowed Nigeria to export about 11% of our export goes to France. So we mustn't take the fact that they are our most reliable trading partner in Europe at the moment. So whether Senegal is doing business with them or not, that should be to our advantage. But my own idea is it's not because other countries not doing, we shouldn't do, but what economic benefit is some of this memorandum of understanding will bring. Because again, we are going to a country like France to sign an agreement, yet you don't have an ambassador, a sitting ambassador. All you have is a chartered affair, which is not as good as an ambassador. So when you are signing all this memorandum of understanding, who is going to follow it up for you people? So because he has a limit. So that's why sometimes we say you sign these things hastily, and then you come back and you say this thing is not working when you don't do your own work. As Mr. President was visiting France now, he should have the ambassador of Nigeria to France there with him. But we don't have that. And up to now, he has not made any ambassadorial appointment for any country. So it could be the reason why most of all these agreements that they have signed have not seen the light of day.
You've made mention of something very important: follow through, follow up, making sure that this works. Because again, the two sides to it. If we sign, I want to bring something that might not be related but similar. We saw the Nigerian government being taken to court, dragged to court because of what happened in Ogun State, if I'm not mistaken. And that's because of certain documents that were signed, but there was no follow through and implementation. I'm not insinuating that, of course, the French government is going to take us to court or anything. There's going to be obviously something that will work on both sides. But if you're complaining about the fact that, we don't have an ambassador, what role really is, how important is that role aside from what needs to be done within the country? I'm not just talking about following up to make sure that France keeps its side of the deal. What about us in this country? How many of these deals have we signed that did not see the light of day? And what's to say that this one will work?
Yeah, I agree with you. We've signed a lot of deals and we've not seen the light of day. And most of these deals, remember, it's memorandum of understanding. Sometimes it's not a straight line. It takes time. You are trying to go sign a memorandum of understanding, and then they will also look at their own side. And again, memorandum of understanding means that you also have to do your own part. So sometimes the challenge is that you've seen this thing didn't go through because the government is not coming out officially to tell you. Maybe it could be the fault of them because they also have a role to play. And if they're not playing your role, then the memorandum of understanding will not see the light of day. So as long as you talk about memorandum of understanding, which is very good, but again, you must also be able to do your homework, like you said. And part of some of those homework is to look at this memorandum of understanding. And sometimes you ask yourself, who are the people that signed this memorandum of understanding? How biased are they in what they are signing? Because again, you're talking about the one we have with mining, and you asked a very good question. What is France in the area of mining? So before now, remember that's how we wanted to do the steel business in Nigeria. Went to Russia. Russia had the best when it comes to steel. Up to this moment, one steel has not been produced in Nigeria Steel Complex. In short, they have been taken up for liquidation, trying to collect money that we signed a deal. We did not allow it to go through. We didn't do a part of our deal. So I totally agree with you. Signing memorandum of understanding is one thing. Then you be able to meet the demands for this memorandum of understanding is very, very important. And sometimes we've not been able to follow through. Especially since President Tinubu came to power, all the memorandum of understanding that we signed, the one he signed in Saudi Arabia, he signed in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Okay, for that you can say that Emirates is back. That should be the only one that you think is signed and that is working. Every other one we've not seen it yet. So, but it's still early days. Let's hopefully it will happen soon.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the problems that we have as a country in our mining industry. And just to note, Dele Alake, the minister of that ministry, was there also in France with Mr. President. But let me just talk about the poor mining practices that we have in the country, such as unregulated mercury use and deforestation. These things have negative, consequences on local communities in the ecosystem. Limited access to finance. It remains a significant hurdle for both small-scale and large-scale mining in the country. The fact that we also have a lot of illegal mining and illegal mining sites, there are helicopters that land and take off at mining sites. We only just hear about these things, but we've not seen the political will to clamp down. The problems that we have in Plateau, in Zamfara, these are all an offshoot of the illegal mining that's going on in those states. Recently, Dele Alake told us all that the people that are the criminality that's happening in the mining industry is done by very powerful people in this country. And it makes me wonder, who's more powerful than the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Who's his boss? And why do we get this kind of information from the people who we elect to help us solve the problems that we're facing as a country? But here we are talking about an MOU that we don't even know if it will change anything in the mining industry that's, as far as I'm concerned, unregulated.
Yeah, because again, you have to ask yourself, is Dele Alake a professional when it comes to mining? So in a critical sector like mining, why do you have a novice as a minister for mining? And so that means you have to depend on the PAMSEC or a director. And this PAMSEC and director have been the problem why the mining industry have not moved up. So it's all about the appointee, because again, you just said it talks like if the other people are more powerful than government. I think it was former President Sani Abacha that said something. He said, if an insurgent happens after 24 hours, you still have that insurgency going on. That means there is somebody that is in power that knows something about them that is backing them, if you cannot stop it. So that is exactly when you see all these stories we have them learning, mining. So that shows that the people that are doing it, they know themselves and they're in power, but they are not ready to handle the issue because maybe they don't have the political will to handle it. That could be the whole issue. But I think illegal mining, remember, France also have signed a treaty on the climate change. How would they want to be part of illegal mining? Then we still have the insecurity. I mean, it's not up there already. And France is not telling us that they will send us troops to guide the mining so that there will not be illegal mining, or they are going to help us in making sure they deal with insecurity so that they can mine this mining site. They are not saying that. So it's a huge problem for whoever wants to get the mine. That's what I say about memorandum of understanding. So you might be surprised that from that memorandum of understanding, one of the conditions is to make sure that you end insurgency, you make the place security for international investors to invest in the mining site. So these are part of the things that they sign, but you don't get to see it, because anybody that wants to invest in an economy, the first thing the person tries to look at, he looks at how security-wise, how is this economy? How can my investment be secure? So those are not issues that have been taken care of in this current agreement, unless they are planning to do that.
This MOU we hear is in a bid to address the numerous challenges, including remediation of over 2,000 abandoned mining pits across the country. So this MOU also shows that both Nigeria and France have agreed to develop joint projects to promote and diversify the critical minerals value chain in the solid mineral sector of both countries. How does this, in English language and in plain terms, benefit the average Nigerian, especially when we are at a place where every little thing the government does, we're trying to ask, how does it affect us in Naira and Kobo? And how does it translate to food on our table and ameliorating our sufferings and the reduction in the price of fuel? Of course, these are the things that the average person is thinking about. So explain to us, please.
Well, for the average person, when government is rich, when government is buoyant, that means there will be job. And when there's job, there's food on your table. So when you're looking at this mining sector, you realize that mining sector directly will provide employment, indirectly also will provide employment. So definitely for the average Nigerian is that when we develop this sector, the mining sector might be as critical as the oil and gas sector, like what we are seeing in the oil and gas sector. Now, in a country like South Africa, mining is the key driver of their economy. So if we are able to do that, and mining employed a lot of people a lot of their citizens in South Africa. So that's what we might be seeing here. But again, there's environmental hazard to mining, the challenges that have to do having a mining site, managing a mining site. Recently, because of the illegality of mining that happened in Niger State, there's a lot of people died when the mining site caved in. So those are part of the challenges. So they need a lot of expertise. So when you are listening to say that there's an agreement between France and Nigeria, it might shock you that what we do in crude oil, that's what we'll be doing there. We just send all the raw material to France, and then they will in turn they want to fabricate it and send it back for us to buy at a high price.
Wow.
So I don't think they are comfortable enough to come and establish a company here in Nigeria, because, like I said, if you want to establish a mining company, it's not like a telecom that you can have a headquarter in Lagos or other areas that you can when you want to be mining, the headquarters of the mining site must be very, very close to the mining site. So will France be ready to reach their citizens to stay in a place that's very insecure? So we must deal with the insecurity first before you can see any light in the memorandum of understanding that we have signed.
And looking at obviously the body language, because just a few minutes ago I was just talking about insecurity and the trust deficits in the fight against insecurity. As Nigerians still wonder what's really is happening with this fight against insecurity and insurgency, like I said, banditry, what's at the core of it is illegal mining of gold and several other things. With the body language of the government and the fact that we have a new defense chief, do you see us winning that war anytime soon in order to somewhat be able to deal properly in the mining sector?
Well, you have to understand that in terms of insecurity, I think you have to give it to the government. They really tried. We've seen the pocket of insecurity here and there. It's not like before, whereby they would take over a battalion, seize the army truck. And they've recorded some successes in the area of banditry. Most of the kingpins of these banditries, especially in this area like Zamfara, KB, Sokoto, have been eliminated by the Nigerian military. So you need to give it to them. So is that going to be the end to it? No. And the good news is that I think
99.3 Nigeria Info will be right back. In the cooking game, you need a winning game plan. I'm not just talking about your fresh ingredients, utensils, or cooking skills. I'm talking about your choice of seasoning. Your game plan is incomplete without Maggi chicken flavor. Made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric, it's the game changer. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious, rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, the game changer.
Oh, why is this phone hanging now?
Babe, Shibi, I don't tell you to buy ITEL AAT.
ITEL AAT?
That's right. The ITEL AAT comes with a 6.7-inch HD Plus screen, 36 months lag-free experience, 128GB memory, 5GB data on each 1,000 Naira data purchase using the special code *312*66# on your Airtel line for the next 6 months with Google Apps pre-installed. Say goodbye to your phone hanging. ITEL AAT.
Enjoy 36 months lag-free experience.
Find amazing treats for everyone this holiday with Showmax. Celebrate like a champion with soccer.
Very well taken.
Find your festive inspo with our masters of style.
That's what I'm here for.
Embark on a fun-filled global adventure.
Here we go.
Share your love moments with family and friends.
My son, the most handsome.
And enjoy some truly royal spoils.
I want the power to control what happens in my life.
Only on Showmax, because everyone deserves a holiday treat.
Hey, here's a question for you. What gets you out of bed in the morning? Is it the sunrise? The sound of your alarm? No, it's that dream, that drive, that unstoppable force inside you. And you know what fuels that drive? It's starting your day strong with the rich, creamy taste of Nescafe Original 3-in-1, carefully crafted from selected coffee beans. So, whatever your hustle, go from maybe or I can't to I can and I will. Nescafe Original 3-in-1. Start strong, finish strong.
Memories filled with laughter, moments that live forever.
Elevate your lifestyle with Broom, the brand that brings reliability and happy memories to your home. Whether it's a stunning TV, an efficient washing machine, a sleek gas cooker, or a powerful air conditioner, Broom has you covered. Experience the joy of seamless living with our top-notch home appliances. And with Broom, enjoy exceptional after-sales service, providing peace of mind long after your purchase. Transform your home and embrace excellence with Broom. Available now at dealers and Electromat stores near you. Upgrade your life today by visiting our website at www.broom.com.
Happy memories start with Broom.
For virtuals, you go be controller. Whether you dey for banana or zanga. For sports book, I'ma just the juke. Make you dey build your bet, just the cook. I see no fit on you to controller.
Be a part of the action. Your first bet is on us. So register now and get 100 Naira in free bets to start playing. Bet King. Every bet is an adventure. Terms and conditions apply.
That feeling, that's Bet King.
5 Alive Poppy. So much pop. So many ways to pop it. He gulps it. She chews it. He slurps it. Filled with pulp in every bowl, everyone pops it their way. So, how do you pop it?
Hey there! Yes, you! You just won 5,000 Naira cash! And you, sitting by the side, there's 1 month Showmax subscription to watch the Premier League waiting for you! You behind! Of course! You're not left to when you buy the No Unwrap and Win pack. Open it, look for a cube with a 6-digit code on its wrapper, text the code to 8011 and follow the prompts to stand a chance to win any of these instant prizes. Promo valid from July till December. Terms and conditions apply. Get extra value on the No Unwrap and Win pack. No, eat for good.
Success is like an aeroplane. You only see the graceful flight high up in the sky, but not the roaring powerful engines propelling it. Likewise, in the world of e-payments, you only see transactions done, funds remitted. But who pioneered these financial technology solutions? Well, you knew it as ValueCard, now Unified Payments, Nigeria's premier financial technology service provider. Yes, it starts here. Find out more at www.up-ng.com. Unified Payments. Innovations that work for you.
Your personal information, like your name, address, phone number, and even health records are valuable. You need to be conscious of who has access to it and how it's used when you share it. If you experience a data breach or misuse of your personal information, report it to the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, NDPC. Visit www.ndpc.gov.ng or NDPC on all social media platforms to report incidents and stay informed. Nigeria Data Protection Commission, NDPC, championing privacy rights.
Hello, excuse me. This Milo pack looks different. I'm seeing support energy release, bam, on the pack. Is it the same Milo?
No, this one is new and improved. The supports energy release means when you give your kids Milo as part of breakfast, you are giving them energy they need to go to school.
Ah, I like this one.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Pulse Fiesta Airlines Flight 2024, departing to a fun December destination.
On December 8th, Queen's Park Event Center, Lagos. Prepare for an exciting journey packed with games, comedy, DJs, and the best hype man in town. Oh, and passengers, brace yourselves for the main event. Ruga, live on stage, plus top Nigerian artists. Tickets are just 5,000 naira. Tickets available at bit.ly/PulseFiesta24. That is bit.ly/PulseFiesta24.
Big things, Nemo like
Pepsi 60cl long throat bottle is back. It's big refreshment, big value, big flex, big tins. Pepsi, thirsty for more.
Big things, Nemo like
Pepsi 60cl long throat bottle is back. It's big refreshment, big value, big flex, big tins. Pepsi, thirsty for more.
Looking for ways to overcome challenges in your career journey? The perfect time to step into a world of opportunity is now. At Markets for You, a trusted, well-renowned online trading company with over 17 years of experience and customers spread across the globe. Discover a new way to earn and learn by copying top traders from around the world. No previous experience required. If you're over 18, you can start earning profits from the comfort of your home today. Visit www.marketsforyou.com or call 0912-779-0500, 0912-779-0500 today to start your journey towards financial independence with Markets for You.
I'm in love, Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stir?
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Fact. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Marian Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, we're back. It's still by Logo and Broad. Muktar Mohammed, an economist, is still our guest. We're talking about the recent deal, the MOU, that was signed between Nigeria and France to develop the mining sector in the country and, of course, to address the challenges in that sector. How does this benefit us? The guest has been trying to make sense of it and saying, well, this might create more jobs. But looking at, again, us as a country and how we have fared when it comes to these deals, have we done a great job with the ones that we've had over time? I mean, I was having a conversation with my uncle yesterday, and he was telling me about a conversation that I had on this show with a former special advisor to the governor of Cross River State at the time. It was Leah Limoke, on investment promotion. And he complained bitterly about something which is we're dealing with today in the power sector, which is metering. Nigeria and GE, that's General Electric, had signed a deal for these meters to be manufactured here in Nigeria, in Cross River State, under a different administration. Now, when Professor Ben Ayade became governor, that deal it literally died. And GE had to look for a way to sell off because they had built a great, massive plant. It would have been so good. Jobs would have been created. But greed did not let it happen. Well, fortunately for Cross River State, we're not in courts like Ogun State. And I remember I was having that conversation on the heels of the Ogun State situation. Here we are again. Another MOU with the government of France. How do we make sure that we keep our own end of the bargain? Muktar is back with us. We'll soon open up the phone lines because we have just 17 minutes on the clock so that Lagos, you could chime in. Muktar, going forward, how do we, the average Nigerians, because on paper, the politician works for us. They're supposed to be looking out for our best interests, even though that's not necessarily the case these days in the country. How do we make sure that some of these deals that our government sign on our behalf, they follow through? How do we hold them responsible? How do we hold them to account? How do we make sure? Because like if you were listening to me, Cross River State lost out on a great deal with General Electric because of a funny governor who was greedy. How do we avoid these kinds of things happening over and over again going forward?
Well, that's in the place of you journalists, people like you. You have to follow up. Journalists have to follow up, know what some of all these deals. Like I'm talking to you, like I said, we don't even know what this memorandum of understanding is until they see the presidential flight plane. We didn't even know that we are having any issue. Remember also the PNID issue also. That they were almost PNID issue that they were also about seizing our assets in the UK. Thank God we were able to win that case. So it definitely shows that there's a lot of, when we sign this agreement, they don't do their homework. And I keep saying the only reason why they don't do their homework is because the politicians are so much in a haste to sign this agreement because they want to take credit for it, so they are not ready to do due diligence. So that has been the major issue when you see they sign some of this agreement. Because like I said, Dele Alaki is signing an agreement on mining, and you ask yourself, what does he really know when it comes to mining? All I've known about Dele Alaki is that he has been a journalist all his life. So now he's the minister for mining. People could argue that you don't have to be this, to be, but again, when it comes to leadership, you should have a little idea of what you are leading them forward to do. You might not be an expert. You might be somebody that can gather a lot of team, but you should be able to also have a little knowledge of the team you want to gather to bring you results. You don't just leave that to the hands for people to decide for you. That's why they say leadership, all the problems fall on the table of the leader. So for me, I think we've made a great mistake.
Hello, are you there?
In the appointment, important area for our economy.
Okay. Well, let's open up the phone lines, Lagos. Let's talk about this deal, this mining deal. Just to remind you, if you've forgotten, explosives went off in Oyo State in a residential area. And when I talked about it, somebody asked me, why are they supposed to put the explosives? Are they supposed to put it in rural areas? No. They can put it anywhere but where people live. So that's why in some states you have industrial areas, like in River State. There's an industrial area, there are industrial parks. There are places where explosives are not supposed to be in. But because we have a lot of these illegalities happening under the guise of mining, no one's controlling it. All these kinds of things continue to happen. Like you said, in Niger State, people have died because of, illegal mining, and a cave, something, where they were mining caved in and people died. If there are proper regulations, would have less and less of these problems happening. But let's talk Lagos. 0201-277-0993. We're talking about Nigeria's deal, MOU with France on the mining sector. 0201-277-0993. For the ladies, 0201-465-7190. On WhatsApp, it's 08095975805. Someone is saying, what's our business with the mining deal? It is our business. Because you see, when they're taking us to court, they don't take the guy who signed it. They take the whole country to court. And if we have any issues, it is a Nigerian issue. The more reason why we need to pay attention to every single detail the government puts out there. It's very important. But let's talk. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Good evening, Mary Ann Jikoko.
Yeah, good evening.
This is Pastor Ladipo. Mary Ann, you see, I want to capitalize on what your guest said, that a minister who had been a journalist all his life is signing an MOU. If you understand what is happening in the oil sector today, we are the one that owns the crude oil. But I don't know who signed whatever they signed with IOC. See, today they are controlling a large percentage of that oil. The same thing will happen in the mining sector now. Because you have a man who just felt that he's doing us good. He quickly signed. Even if it is written in English, there are certain terminologies about that sector that he might not understand. So, for us, before you go into any deal, please bring in the experts. Let them help you to read the nitty-gritty of it, because it will bounce back tomorrow. May God save this nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling, Pastor Ladik. But we're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube. Would like to see your comments. Would like to read from you. How many of us pay attention to these deals, to things the government do with our names? Because they don't go there and say, I, so and so person, I am coming to this country to do blah, blah, blah. No, they come in the name of the people of Nigeria, the Nigerian people. And so whatever deals that are being done are done in the name of the Nigerian people. Hence, the Nigerian people need to be informed. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Good evening, Mary and Coco.
Yes, good evening.
Godwin from Backwell on the line.
Go ahead, Godwin.
Thank you. When you have a carpenter in charge of law, what will you expect? When you have a geographer in charge of medicine or heading medical department, what do you expect? In as much the interest and the best of Nigeria and Nigerians is not in the heart of our rulers, rather for political benefit and reward, then we should not expect anything better than the work that we are going through. But God will save us through in Jesus' name.
Okay. Thank you for calling. I just want to query. Do we have to keep expecting as opposed to engaging? Whatever happened to engaging our government? Because again, how do you engage if you don't have information? The information is out there. There's an MOU. How many people are asking, what are the contents of this MOU? Why do we need this MOU? What will it bring to us? When do we start the action plans? And what do we have to give as a country? Is it comfortable enough for us? Will we be better off, being part of this deal? Are we giving more than we should give? These are questions that we should be asking. But how many of us are asking these questions? Muktar, you're saying that, yes, the media has to, do a job. We're supposed to inform. But yes, we inform. But what about Nigerians also engaging? It looks like the last caller, God will help us. We've jettisoned everything to God. We're leaving it to fate. We all know, these leaders, they're not there for us. So what happens?
Well, that that's been the average Nigerian thought. God will deal with them. God will fight for us. But you forget that faith itself is action. So it could be that you have to fight. Then you fight with the hands of faith. And they go, but God will not plan it for you. God will only order your step after you've done the plan. So, but you have to plan. So God will help you. When we are putting God in everything, and that's why our leaders have been able to get away with a lot of things. That sometimes their leaders are telling us that we leave everything in the hands of God, that God will help this country. Country needs spiritual cleansing and that and that. But again, you ask yourself, a country like China that does not even worship God like us, look at what they are doing. So it's a mindset. Yeah, I like what you said, engage. But again, in terms of engaging our leaders, how many of our leaders I do want to be engaged? Because sometimes this engagement, they see it as being productive, or you are being rebellious, or you are trying to undermine their authority. All you need to look is just to look at what the Minister for Federal Capital Authority, Winston Wike, was talking to some Nigerian residents, some
In
owners of the
Abuja,
property that he was about to destroy. And he told them that in Abuja, I told them that, is it because I came down from my car to talk to you? Am I supposed to talk to you people? That I'm doing you people for coming down from my car to talk to you people. So sometimes in engaging these leaders, have we really been able to engage them? Are they even ready for us to engage them? So when you see that sometimes the average Nigerian just leaving everything in the hands of the leader, it's not that they've not tried, but some of these leaders are not even ready to listen to you because they know that when election comes, they know how to win the election without doing anything. So until it gets to a point whereby we have integrity in our election, that's when we can hold leaders accountable for what they have done. Up to today, we've not held anybody accountable for the deal, the PID deal.
PNID,
we were able
yes.
to, so
Nobody has come
Nobody
forward.
has been sentenced. Nobody has been sentenced. So yeah, so that is one. Then this current Ogun State issue that was an embarrassment. Till today, nobody is talking about the second presidential plane that is still being held by them. Remember that they wanted to seize both the new and the old. So the government have to beg them that they should release the new because the president does not have any flight. So they only did it on the ground of goodwill. So maybe they could have even one day decide to seize the new presidential plane also. So, but nobody's saying anything. We don't even know what engagement they're having with these people. So I think it's all about if I want to engage you, you should be ready to talk. And if you are not ready to be engaged, I can't force myself to engage you. So why I say journalists, because sometimes, in Nigeria, the politicians listen to the journalists more. Even if these days they have turned it to become cyber bully or whatever name they want to call it now. So, but again, sometimes it's the journalists that brings it to the attention of the people, and that's the only time you see the politician answering. So that's why I said journalists should be at the forefront of knowing what it is memorandum of understanding. You mustn't forget that people have the freedom of information, be it to obtain information whenever you need it.
Interesting. Well, Lagos, I have just 5 minutes on the clock. I want to take more of your thoughts and your comments on WhatsApp. It's 08095975805. On the phone line 020127709930. If you're a female, you can call 0201-465-7190. I just remember something about the little girl in one of these northern states who asked the governor if his family members were to be affected by terrorism, if he would have been faster in implementing some things, in dealing with insurgency. And she was arrested and she was attacked. They went to her home and attacked her, and then she was arrested by the police. So just to buttress your point on engagement, what do these political leaders see engagement as? You could join the conversation. We'd like to hear your thoughts quickly before we wrap the conversation up here. If you're watching us live on YouTube, please post your comments. We'd like to hear from you. Before I read this message, let me just take this quick call. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon, Mariam.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening, sorry, Carol. Thank you. Good evening, our guest. Mariam, my name is Mazuda. Let me just say, we don't need to engage our leaders now. We need to engage ourselves. We, common people, we need to engage ourselves to make sure that we get out of these people because they are not ready to do our own deeds. They cannot do that. All we need to do is to think more, think the way that we can defeat them, and do the way that we can defeat these people. For we to be telling them what to do, for we to benefit, they cannot do it. So if the masses do not find a way to get rid of these people, we will keep on suffering every day. So there is nothing to talk with them. They won't do anything because the way they go in there is the way that...
Why are you so sure? We have governors and we have senators who are doing their jobs indeed. You can't just, to borrow the term, throw out the baby with the bathwater. You can't say that all of them are not willing to listen to us. You can't.
Yes, if they are doing to get these things right, they would have succeeded things. They are not doing to get it. They are doing to enrich themselves. You need to know now. They are not doing anything for you. So if you want to grow. Thank you.
So who do we leave this to? Who do we leave this to? Because, if we want to grow, we grow. If we don't. So who do we let it? I mean, because half the time you guys call me here and harass me that, you journalists, you're not doing your job. Sir, what about your own job? Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Marianne.
Good evening. Turn off your radio, please.
Yeah. Okay, so quite an interesting conversation.
What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is George. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Go ahead.
So it's quite an engaging conversation, and sometimes it looks as if we are in a cul-de-sac. There's no way out. But I really believe that sometimes there is the will to do, but the emerging circumstances of quick fixes, quick wins, somebody wanted to take glory, like what the guest is saying, that somebody quickly signs a deal just because it is within my tenure, I can do it. And sometimes, even though there may not be a full knowledge of it, when the right professionals are giving the right counsel, a lot of the times people are bent towards being politically correct instead of doing the right thing. And so we are Nigerians, and it's only us that can change the scope of things. We cannot be anywhere else.
Yeah.
But our leaders are selected from amongst us. That's the reality of the situation. In the minutest sectors, take away from political leadership, from the minutest sectors, people are still doing wrong things when they should do the right thing. So it is from us. We can complain about leaders, but leaders are from the people. They're not from space. So the reality is that Nigerians need to say, look, I need to change. Whether I'm in a political office or I'm not in a political office. That is what will bring us out of this situation.
Okay.
That would be my contribution about
right.
where we are at the bills and all of that.
Thank you, George. Thank you so much for calling. Muktar, before I let you go, because our time is gone completely, it's the same thing about the tax bill. I've asked some people here today, how many of you have actually read the tax bill to see what it actually means for the average person? We just comment on them, we're just passive, about it. Nobody really is taking time to look at the nitty-gritty of these things. It's just like the budgets. We don't care, what they have listed in the budget. We just hear the amount and we say, these people, they have finished chopping our money. In a few words, you have 40 seconds. Let's chide Nigerians as we wrap up.
Well, Mariam, sometimes when you put me on the spot, I don't know what I will say again because you've already said all you have to say, and which is we need to be involved in governance. We are not involved in governance. We just think the only time we get involved in governance is during the election. So we need to know what they are doing. You just made a very good example, the tax bill. Everybody seems to be talking, and they're only involved in only the tribal side of the tax bill. Nobody's looking at that bill holistically to see the good that bill has for smaller business. That bill, what is going to bring in terms of innovation and creativity, rather than running to Abuja or the bottles to feed. So for me, I think Nigerians should engage their leaders, and also most especially, they should also ask questions, like you have said.
Well, Muktar Mohammed is an economist. Always a pleasure to have him on the station to talk about issues with us on Balogun Broad. Thank you, Muktar, for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, Mariam. Anytime.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, Lagos, that's the show. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads, MIMIEYO. I'll be back tomorrow. Well, I will not be back tomorrow, but I'll see you next week, Tuesday or Wednesday on Hard Facts. My name is Mary Anokun. I love you, Lagos. Enjoy the rest of our programs.
You are listening
listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Success.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.